Men, listen carefully. Women communicate a lot more than they say, and sometimes the words they use reveal intentions you need to recognize immediately. There are 4 phrases women commonly say right before they attempt to manipulate, test, or play a man. Understanding these signals is critical to protecting your energy, maintaining respect, and staying in control of the dynamic. Too many men fall into the trap of taking words at face value. They hear what she says and assume it reflects her true intentions without noticing tone, timing, or context. Women often use words strategically, consciously or unconsciously, to see how you respond, measure your boundaries, or test your emotional control. How you react determines whether she respects you or tries to push past your limits. In this video, I'm breaking down the 4 key phrases women say right before they play a man, why they matter, and exactly how you should respond. Each phrase reveals subtle manipulations or tests that most men miss. Recognizing these early allows you to respond confidently, protect your emotional and physical energy, and maintain authority in any interaction. The modern dating world is fast and psychologically complex. Men who can read between the lines gain a huge advantage. They see intent before it becomes a problem. By mastering these 4 phrases and the correct responses, you ensure that you lead interactions, stay in control, and attract women who are aligned with your energy and standards. 1. I don't care. Men, the first phrase to recognize is I don't care. On the surface, it sounds casual, indifferent, or even harmless. But in female psychology, this is often a silent test, a way to gauge your reaction, emotional control, and whether you will bend to her influence. Women use this phrase to see if you're detached, confident, or reactive. When a woman says, I don't care, she may be referring to anything, plans, opinions, or even your responses. The goal is not necessarily disinterest, it's testing boundaries. She wants to see if you will overcompensate, try to convince her, or get frustrated. A man who reacts emotionally fails the test instantly. A calm, composed man maintains his position, demonstrating authority and self-respect. Your response strategy is critical. Don't argue or over-explain. Simply acknowledge her statement and move the interaction forward on your terms. For example, if she says, I don't care what we do tonight, you can calmly reply with, all right, I'll decide what works best. Let's plan that. You are not dismissing her. You are leading the interaction while maintaining control. This phrase is also about testing patience and emotional stability. Some women may repeat it in different contexts to measure consistency in your reactions. Your ability to remain composed, confident, and deliberate communicates that your energy is not negotiable. Women notice this instinctively and recalibrate their behavior accordingly. Tone and timing matter too. Often, I don't care comes with subtle cues, a playful smirk, a teasing tone, or even a slight guilt trip. These cues amplify the test. A man who responds with emotional neutrality and calm authority passes, while overreacting signals insecurity or neediness. Finally, recognizing this phrase early allows you to filter interactions intelligently. Women who respect your response to I don't care demonstrate alignment and emotional intelligence. Those who continue testing boundaries aggressively reveal patterns of manipulation or self-interest. By understanding this phrase and responding correctly, you protect your energy, assert your standards, and maintain influence in the dynamic. Men who master this know how to turn a subtle test into an opportunity to lead the interaction, maintain attraction, and enforce boundaries without confrontation. I don't care is not an invitation to argue. It's a silent gauge of your composure, authority, and self-respect. Respond wisely, and you pass the test every time. 2. You're too sensitive. Men, the second phrase to recognize is, you're too sensitive. On the surface, it seems like a casual critique or a defensive remark, but in female psychology, it's often a subtle test of your emotional control and boundaries. Women use this to gauge how easily you react to challenges, criticisms, or uncomfortable topics. How you handle this phrase determines whether she perceives you as confident and grounded, or reactive and insecure. When a woman says, "You're too sensitive," it may follow a disagreement, boundary setting, or a direct response to her behavior. She wants to see if you will over-explain, argue excessively, or apologize unnecessarily. Men who immediately try to justify themselves or downplay their feelings fail this test because it signals that their energy is negotiable. A man who responds with calm authority passes effortlessly. Your response strategy is simple but powerful. Acknowledge your stance without defensiveness. For example, you might calmly say, "I'm just being honest about how I feel," or "I respect your perspective, but this matters to me." You do not need to over-explain or seek validation. Women notice when your energy is grounded and intentional, and this reinforces attraction and respect. This phrase also tests your ability to enforce boundaries without guilt. If a woman says, "You're too sensitive," after you've communicated limits, she's observing whether you will retract your standard or maintain your authority. Responding consistently with calm composure demonstrates strength and self-respect. Overreacting or bending shows weakness and invites repeated testing. Tone and energy are crucial. The phrase often carries a subtle challenge, a way to provoke doubt or assess emotional stability. A man who remains steady, neutral, and deliberate communicates that his emotions are under control and his boundaries are non-negotiable. Women instinctively recognize this stability as authority and value. Finally, observing the use of "you're too sensitive" provides insight into her character. Women who respect your energy after using this phrase demonstrate alignment, maturity, and emotional intelligence. Those who repeatedly dismiss your feelings or push your boundaries reveal traits that could create imbalance or conflict. Recognizing this phrase as a silent test allows you to respond intelligently, maintain attraction, and protect your energy. Men who master this principle do not allow guilt or manipulation to dictate their emotional state. They respond with composure, reinforce boundaries, and maintain authority without drama. "You're too sensitive" is not criticism. It's a gauge of your internal strength, and passing this test consistently sets the tone for respect and alignment in the connection. 3. I'm not ready. Men, the third phrase to recognize is, "I'm not ready." On the surface, it sounds like a statement about timing or commitment. But in female psychology, it's often a subtle test, a way to see if you will respect her boundaries, maintain composure, and demonstrate patience without losing authority or attraction. How you respond determines whether she sees you as grounded and trustworthy, or insecure and pushable. When a woman says, "I'm not ready," it may refer to emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, or relationship progression. She's observing how you handle delay, uncertainty, and her boundaries. Many men panic at this phrase, trying to convince, rush, or overcommit to reassure her. This is exactly what the test is designed to provoke: desperation or neediness. A composed man, however, passes effortlessly. Your response strategy is critical. Respect the boundary without overreacting. For example, calmly acknowledging her statement, "I understand, we'll move at a pace that works for both of us," demonstrates patience, emotional control, and respect without compromising your authority. You are signaling that your energy and standards are intact, and she must adjust to them if she wants alignment. This phrase also tests patience and emotional resilience. Some women repeat it in different contexts or vary their tone to see if your energy wavers. Men who remain steady, confident, and deliberate reinforce attraction and authority. Overreacting, pressuring, or begging signals weakness and encourages further testing. Timing and energy matter as well. Respond calmly, avoid overanalyzing, and maintain your presence in other areas of your life. Women notice a man whose attention is not entirely dependent on their responses. This builds respect and attraction naturally. Another subtle aspect is observing whether she respects your consistency and boundaries. "I'm not ready" may be repeated or reframed, and her response to your calm authority reveals alignment. Women who respect your patience and consistency demonstrate emotional intelligence and compatibility. Those who manipulate or push for accelerated outcomes reveal traits that could cause tension or conflict later. Finally, understanding "I'm not ready" as a silent test allows you to respond intelligently without losing energy, composure, or influence. Passing this test consistently demonstrates confidence, patience, and authority, qualities that attract respect, trust, and alignment in modern dating. Men who master this principle do not allow uncertainty to destabilize their energy. They respond calmly, reinforce standards, and maintain authority. "I'm not ready" is not a rejection. It is a test of your composure, patience, and ability to lead the dynamic. Passing it sets the tone for respect, trust, and deeper connection. 4. You're overthinking. Men, the fourth and final phrase to recognize is "you're overthinking." On the surface, it may sound like a casual observation, but in female psychology, it's often a subtle test of your confidence, decisiveness, and emotional stability. Women use this phrase to gauge whether you can maintain composure under scrutiny or manipulation, and whether your energy is grounded or reactive. When a woman says, "you're overthinking," it usually follows a question, concern, or clarification you express about her behavior, intentions, or the dynamic between you. The goal is not necessarily to criticize, but to see if you will second-guess yourself, apologize unnecessarily, or overcomplicate the interaction. Men who react defensively, explain excessively, or internalize doubt fail the test. A calm, confident response passes it immediately. Your strategy here is simple. Acknowledge without defensiveness and maintain clarity. For example, you could say, "I'm just thinking things through," and leave it at that. You don't need to justify your thoughts or argue your perspective. Women instinctively sense when a man's energy is grounded, and this reinforces respect and attraction. This phrase is also a test of emotional independence. Some women use it repeatedly or with varying tones to see if you rely on their validation for your confidence. Men who remain self-assured, composed, and deliberate demonstrate authority. Those who fluctuate, seek approval, or react emotionally invite further testing and potential manipulation. Tone and timing are critical. Your overthinking often carries a subtle challenge, playfulness, or even a slight guilt trip. How you respond energetically communicates whether your boundaries and composure are negotiable. Calm neutrality signals confidence and leadership, while overreaction signals insecurity. Another important aspect is observing alignment. Women who respect your thoughtful approach and energy after using this phrase demonstrate maturity and compatibility. Those who continue to challenge or undermine your perspective reveal traits that may cause friction or imbalance later. Recognizing this test early allows you to filter for women who are aligned with your values and standards. Finally, understanding your overthinking as a silent test empowers you to maintain authority and protect your energy. Men who master this principle respond with composure, reinforce boundaries, and operate from confidence. Women instinctively sense this stability and adjust their behavior, creating attraction, respect, and alignment in the connection. Passing this silent test ensures you maintain influence, preserve emotional energy, and lead interactions on your terms. It's not about avoiding thought or reflection. It's about responding with authority, clarity, and grounded energy. Recognizing these four phrases and responding intentionally gives you control in modern dating dynamics, protecting you from manipulation while building attraction, respect, and alignment. Men, now you know the four key phrases women say right before they play you. I don't care. You're too sensitive. I'm not ready. And you're overthinking. Each phrase is a silent test designed to measure your confidence, composure, and authority. Recognizing them allows you to protect your energy, maintain respect, and respond in a way that reinforces attraction and alignment. These phrases are subtle, often delivered casually, with tone or timing designed to gauge your reaction. The trap for most men is taking them at face value, overreacting, or over-explaining. Women observe how you handle these moments because it reveals your emotional stability, boundaries, and leadership in the interaction. A man who responds calmly, deliberately, and with composure passes the test effortlessly. Consistency is everything. These phrases may be repeated, phrased differently, or delivered with playful challenge. How you respond across time demonstrates whether your energy is stable and grounded or reactive and insecure. Men who maintain calm authority build respect naturally, while men who react emotionally or seek validation invite manipulation and lose influence. Recognizing these silent tests also reveals her character and alignment. Women who respect your responses, boundaries, and composure demonstrate maturity, integrity, and compatibility. Those who push, manipulate, or provoke show traits that may cause conflict or imbalance later. Understanding these patterns allows you to filter interactions intelligently and avoid wasted time or emotional investment. Ultimately, mastering these four phrases is about authority, energy management, and clarity. You control your reactions, protect your boundaries, and maintain composure in all interactions. Women sense this instinctively and respond with increased respect, attraction, and alignment. Observe, interpret, and respond intentionally. These phrases are not obstacles. They are opportunities to demonstrate strength, assert standards, and lead the interaction. Men who master this skill navigate modern dating confidently, maintain influence, and ensure their energy is valued. Recognize the phrases. Maintain composure, protect your energy, respond with authority. Doing this ensures you stay in control, earn respect, and attract women who are aligned with your standards and values. These are not just words. They are indicators of intent, character, and the dynamic you allow in your dating life. Master them, and you lead every interaction on your terms.